Hey everyone, welcome to Loads of Podcasting. I'm Stu.
I'm Ross.
I'm Rob.
And I'm Liam.
Yes, Liam has escaped from the Phantom Zone because it is the weekend of Superman being released, and we're going to be talking about that full review, non-spoiler and spoiler, in this session. So, guys, we've all seen it this weekend. Very, we'll go non-spoilers first, everyone. For a few, maybe a couple of minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes. Here we go, and then we'll put a warning up for everyone when we're going to start talking about spoilers. So if you haven't seen the film yet, why not? It's like one of the biggest films of the year. You should be watching it opening day, if anything. And then, but if you haven't watched it, please pause it and come back later when you have watched it. And let us know in the comments below your thoughts on the movie as well. So, guys, Superman is out finally. It's been like forever coming.
Talking about it for a long time.
Spoiler, yeah. Ross, go for it. What's your initial thoughts on it?
Oh, I loved it. I'm trying to say about spoilers. I thought the cast was amazing. You know, everyone I think was on par. Story was really good, interesting. Special effects obviously was all good. I don't really have much complaints, to be honest.
Nice, short and sweet. Love it.
Yep.
Love it. Rob?
Similar to Ross, not quite. I liked it. Really good film. Not the greatest film in the world. There's story. The characters are all there. It felt like a comic book come to life on the screen, which is what a lot of people have been saying, and you kind of jumping into an ongoing story. But I did have some little niggles about some of the changes they've made law-wise, and we'll get to that. And there's a few other bits and pieces as well that were just a bit off a little bit, but not to the detriment of the film as a whole. I think it did a really good job. So.
Nice. And Liam, what about yourself?
I think it was a good, fun family movie. It's a good, summer blockbuster movie, which is great. It's what it needed to be. And it was a refreshing change from what we've had with other superhero movies, both from the Snyderverse as well as the Marvel movies that we've had. It's noticeably different in its tone and just how fun of a movie it is. So I think it ticked all the boxes of what it needed to be for a new Superman movie.
Nice. Yeah, no, and I concur with what you guys said. I think it's a really, really good movie. It felt like a Superman. I know a lot of people said this in other reviews, like sort of either coming straight out of like a Smallville or like a Superman animated series, just bringing it into like a live action universe. I agree with Ross. Like David, Rachel, Nicholas, were big standouts for me in that. I like.
And
David
Nathan Fillion.
Nathan Fillion, obviously.
And I've got
the spoiler stuff.
Mr. Terrific as well was a standout of that for me.
Absolutely. Loved Mr. Terrific in this movie. I think they did a fantastic job of him.
That's
and
terrific.
I love the fact that I think that this movie, it also works really well as a completely standalone movie. You don't need to have seen anything before it, and it doesn't directly lead into something afterwards. It's clearly completely self-contained, and that's something that I was really hoping for with this movie. Like, it's become tiring with other movies, how it's part of like one ongoing long big story where you really have to have seen everything before it in order to be able to understand this story. Obviously, this is the first one of the match, of the whole series, so there's not going to be anything before it. But I'm glad to see that it doesn't feel like it's something that you need to have seen in order to be able to enjoy what will be upcoming movies. And I don't want to say much more without being spoilery.
I agree. It's a really clever movie because for like a non-Superman like fan, you can go and watch it, and it's just a great movie, and people can get into characters. But people like us who have grown up with Superman, there's so many little nods and Easter eggs in it as well that just give you that extra little sort of look at what they did there, or look at that little thing there, or that, like those little things. Even you can tell there's loads of which we can talk about in the spoiler part of like nods to previous iterations of the character or the movies or even to TV shows. They sort of brought in, and a lot of source material from the comics as well that they definitely used. So it's I think it's something for everyone. I took my oldest daughter to watch it for the second time today, and she absolutely loved it. She's not a massive. She's not a massive Superman fan, but like she's watched a few.
You know,
things
Charlie,
with me,
yours. What's going on?
Better than the youngest. That one doesn't even like superheroes. I've failed as a parent.
Without going into spoilers, though, there is. I think they have sown a few seeds though left to tell in stories to come.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
on.
I mean they're subtle ones. It's not like cliffhanger.
You don't
have to watch the next movie.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't watch anything else, you're not going to miss out on anything.
Yeah.
So should we wrap up this spoiler-free part so we can just speak more freely?
Yeah, I think that's probably the best idea. Yeah.
I knew it wasn't going to last long. I know people like having a little bit of spoilers. Fine, okay. Let's go spoilers then from 3, 2, 1.
Spoiler alert.
So yeah, we are now talking spoilers. All right, people say anyone who hasn't seen the film, please pause this, come back once you've seen the film a few times.
Like for real. Like don't spoil the movie
don't,
yourself. Go see it.
There are some great things in the film that you don't want to be spoiled about in the thing. So yeah. So cool. What's the top topic of conversation that we want to talk about with spoilers then?
Do we want to start off with his parents?
I mean, that's
probably the biggest thing everyone's talking about at the moment, which is not a great change in my opinion. And that's just me being a purist law nerd.
But they've done it so many times in so many other bits of media.
Yeah.
This version of Ma and Pa Kent. We're talking about Ma and Pa Kent.
No, we're talking about Jarrell and
Laura.
Both of them as well.
We can talk about that afterwards.
We'll talk about that.
Not a big fan on that version of them. Like they just, I mean, they just seem kind of dim. You know,
but they're just simple folk, isn't it? With a good heart. That's what the message.
I think they turned the simple part up to 11, which I did.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's my thing. It's like you can be simple, but it's really cranked up on that.
Especially Mark Kent. I was like, when was you like on the phone and stuff, like shouting down the phone?
Yeah.
You know, your son has super hearing. You don't have to shout. It's okay, but you know, I love Pa Kent though. Like the whole scene with him, like when Clark's going through that whole thing of like, I don't really know who I am anymore because my parents sent me to, which is the other spoiler part, so to basically rule this. I love that little speech he gave, and actually it teared me up the second time I watched it.
Both times when he first comes in and they put him in his bedroom, and he's like kryptonite poisoned, and he's asking, is he going to be all right? I teared up, and then the bit when he comes and speaks to him on the bench and tells him, parents aren't there to tell you how to live your life. We're here to make you make a fool of yourself and make your own decisions.
But that was the only part I felt where the two of them really felt like they were the Kents that would have raised Superman. Like you say, the simple bit was dialed up a little bit too far with the rest of their appearances. So how did they ever create the character of Clark? If they were always Hicks, and it felt a little bit cornbally with especially with the really really accent. They're talking in a Hickish accent for me. But that's
I think I do think they've set it up so that. Like, because I remember, Stu, you said you didn't like Ma Kent, but you like Pa. It's to make you feel more like him, to be more likable on purpose. Because eventually, I think down the road, they will kill him.
Yeah, he has to.
And there'll be more of an emotional effect because you like that one more. I think they've done that.
But I mean, there's different versions of the comic. Too much. Oh yeah, he's on bits. He'll be back. Right. I think it's depending what version of the comics you're in. Like at the moment, I think in Rebirth, both parents are alive and they're being absent, and they're going to be for long. It's going to kill him off when he's really far into his career. It's going to be a bit of a weird one. But so on to his genetic parents. Generic. That doesn't make any sense. Generic parents.
It's biological.
Biological parents. Yes. Yeah. So the twist of the message.
It's bullshit. Bullshit.
I don't think it is. After watching and talking to Ross about it after the film and watching the end scene with Kara turning up, I don't think it is. I think that's actually a change they've made.
Because why would Kara not be like, well, we got to go and conquer?
Yeah, but why would Kara not say that's not your parents if it's not their parents?
I think it is their parents. I think the second part of the message has been modified.
So, I mean, but we already had a twist like that about ruling them from Smallville, where he said, like, it's in your you'll be a god amongst people or something, a god amongst them, and you will rule over them or something like that. That was done in Smallville. So we've already had that type of thing. So for me, personally, this is where I get into like a spoiler conversation here, is that for me, the vast majority of this movie was so remarkably predictable. Like it was just we've seen this before, we've heard this before, and so having that message be from the parents, as soon as they said like half the message is missing, straight away I thought like, well, that's where we're gonna go. It's gonna be the Smallville thing of we're sending you there to rule over them. And sure enough, that was how it played out. It's just there's so much in that movie that was so predictable. It made it disappointing for me. I appreciate that I'm coming at it from a place where all of us, we've been reading these Superman comics since we were like young kids, and we're now middle-aged. So we've got like
a lot of baggage.
Comic book reading and knowledge, like in our heads. Like we know this stuff. We've seen every live-action and animated version of Superman. It's been done before now, so we've already got that in our heads. So it's going to be harder to make things kind of surprising for us as an audience. But Superman and Lois did it consistently with the TV show. Like they consistently did twists in that story, in that show, that both surprised us and we loved it. So that's the thing, is like you can still surprise the audience and do something which they're all going to love, even though you're making changes. I don't know, for me, it was disappointing. But at the same time, if we look at this, take a step back from who we are as middle-aged comic book geeks, who are coming at it from where we're coming at it. As much as this is a movie for everyone, I don't think we're the primary audience for it, and I don't think we should be the primary audience for this. It's getting new audiences, it's getting young people, it's getting people who aren't heard of Superman, haven't read a comic, haven't watched the other movies, haven't watched things. It's getting them into it. And kids who have maybe just seen the Marvel movies before, and you want to have something that's very different and kind of pull them in. So I think they absolutely ticked all those boxes there for a new audience. And so I think that it is a really great movie on its own. And I think that the issues that I point out at the moment, and I'm sure I'll say some more of them because there's a whole bunch. I think they're all just kind of unique to where we're coming from, and I get
the reason why.
It doesn't mean I'm saying it's a bad movie at all. I
think the primary reason for that change with the Jor-El's message is probably because of the whole theme undercutting the film of he's human. That whole speech gives to Lex at the end of the film. I'm as human as you are. It's not about me being an alien. I grew up on this planet. So they're obviously putting that to make him move more away from relying upon his Kryptonian heritage. Because at the end, when he see him, he likes to listen to his parents' message. It soothes him, and then it's all Pa and Ma Kent. Yeah, instead of Jor-El's message. But that's I don't like the let's divorce him from his Kryptonian heritage. I always like the Superman that's in touch with both parts of that, if that makes sense. So
I agree. It's a big twist. I mean, they did it a little bit in the New Adventures of what was it called? The anime one we watched.
My Adventures of
Superman. They sort of did that a little bit with the Jor-El from that. But I'd say what Liam was saying, with all the baggage and stuff we've had reading it for the past 20 years.
30. We're older, Stuart.
Sorry, 30. Yeah, you're very true. 30. Oh, God, I'm so old. 30 years. Every single iteration, bar maybe the Smallville one, Jor-El has always been like a good person. He's sending his son there because he knows that world will look after him, and even if he doesn't, he's there. He will be protected by his powers, but it doesn't mean he has to rule them. So, it was a weird. It didn't sit well with me when I first watched it. I watched it the second time today. I was like, okay. So to the end of it was with that Superman speech and him. Like, because I think that's what he's wrestling with after that's revealed. He's obviously wrestling with that. So I should be ruling the world, but I don't want to. And it's like that's what Parker's saying. Like, you don't have to do what your father tells you. Like, you're there to make that decision, and you're not that you're not that person. So why would you? I did like that, but when it first got revealed, I was just like, oh man, no.
Yeah, I'll put £100 on now that either in
here we go
in the Supergirl movie or another Superman movie down the line, you'll find out that message has been altered, and it's either been mistranslated or it got altered, and that's not the message. But it made it work in this movie that he's human and
that's what
you believe it.
for.
But then there'll be a thing down the line where no, his biological parents believe the same, and he was right. And it might be a bit where he's down, and that like he's like really low, and he doesn't know what to do with him. So maybe when Pa Kent dies at some point, right? He's really low, he doesn't know what to do, and then he finds out that his biological parents he was right about them, and then it'll lift him back up at some point. I'm putting money on it. At some point, that will happen.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah. So other things to talk about, like nitpicky things or anything. I mean, crypto, big
crypto
part of that.
Humor.
Yeah, crypto, right? So I like 90% of what crypto does in that film. He's in it a lot. Like, I think say maybe too much, but I like the way he's like, and it makes sense at the end because obviously it's Supergirl's dog, not his. That it's a disobedient dog that doesn't listen to him. Obviously pounces on him when he's injured, like grabs his feet and everything. Doesn't listen. I just feel like, I don't know, he definitely overused. Like, I think he saved Superman more than Superman saved anything else. And then the whole the bit that really got me was the bit at the end when Lex and Superman were in Lex's sort of flying office, wherever it was.
He's giving that
dramatic
speech.
scene, and suddenly Crypto
just comes
grabbed him and just threw him around. It just turned into a joke, and I was like, I just broke all the cool tension that they just built up. I was like, no, why would you do that?
That was very Marvel-esque.
I got a little bit of the James Gunn Marvel-esque humor coming in a lot from. There's a bit where they have the speech with the Justice Gang, and Mr. Terrific comes out to help Lois. I hate Guy Gardner. I'm going to do this to piss him off. Let's go save Superman, and then they do the 5-minute garage scene with the door opening.
Yes, Which is funny. I mean, it was quite interesting watching it because you knew what was happening. Watching it the second time today, it took like a good 30 seconds for people to start laughing about that. It's like they made it wait so long, but you like got pissed off and you like started laughing. Just
don't get me wrong. I appreciate that there's more humor in this film than there was in something like the Snyderverse to try and get a bit of levity from it and make the character lighter. But I think it's James Gunn falling back on what he knows from Marvel a bit too much.
And I quite liked the sort of the way that it was Superman was written as well. It was like he wasn't a confident Superman, if that makes sense. He sort of like doubted himself a little bit. I kind of like that. He's he's been 3 years into his career, so I guess it's quite early. But the way some of the sort of the writing in that of just the way he was talking and like some of the stuff he was saying, like he's proper nerdy, traditional guy, and then he just has these these moments of just like again a comedy bit of like things in the trailer of like when Mr. Ruffy's like, hey, get off your ass, we're busy. He's like, I'm really doing really important stuff down here. Again, it was like kind of a joke but not like funny. But I think
I think that moment would have been funnier if we hadn't seen it in the trailer.
Yeah, I think trailers. I mean, we only watched the teaser and the first one. I don't even know if we reacted to the first one, but I watched it. But they released so much. I watched them like yesterday. How much they released? Like Liam, you saying it's really predictable. If you'd watched all the trailers, you would have got most of the good bits of the movie. And I think that's a real shame that they have to do that to try and promote. I know they've really done an amazing job promoting this movie. I haven't seen a movie promoted this much. To be fair, weirdly, Fantastic Four is doing the same thing at the moment, but all the marketing, like all the stuff that's been popping up, like in London, they had the Superman on top of the Shard, like a Daily Planet news thing going around London. Like all the cool stuff they've been doing, like over marketing this has been amazing. I haven't seen in a long time, but yeah, it's just I don't know. Yeah, the trailers. I think they released too much good. Like pretty much every good bit in the film is in the trailers. I don't think there's anything that's not in the trailers that happened.
So yeah, I don't know what you guys thought about the. Well, I just did. Thank you. You're doing a stew on me now, aren't you? Okay. So I don't know what you guys thought about the CG overall compared to previous films that we've had, most recently being the Snyderverse. I thought obviously Crypto was really good. I know there was a lot of motion capture work done on. Is it James Gunn's dog or?
Yeah. His dog. I mean, that's why he was such a little shit because he based him on his dog when he was a puppy, right? He talks about in interviews him chewing up everything, not listening. Like chewing I think he said took his socks to chew his toes and all this kind of stuff. So definitely took some inspiration from that. Like I said, I haven't read that many books with Crypto in, so I don't think he's like that usually. Usually he's quite a well-behaved dog.
I don't think he's normally that chaotic. But I do think that having him be like that as a nice bit of comic relief is going to be something that's going to help get the younger audiences to really like this movie. To have such a chaotic puppy in that.
Yeah. I did like the bit where he was like when he was fighting, we should talk about there was one bit Ultraman, and he's just like, Crypto, get the toy. and he's ripped up all the and he gets the T spheres as well. And he's like, oh,
those are really expensive.
Chases the ball. Like, no, that was right.
Yeah, that was fun doing that. The T spheres being having to go after them. That was some little dog behavior. So that was cool. I was about to say something, and it's just left my head. So,
about Rob? You have this one. About the twist of Ultraman, who that actually was.
That's what I was
going to reveal.
Ultraman.
Yeah, we all predicted it was going to be a clone. Yeah, it's predictable as all hell.
Especially from when the damn fortress appeared as they're walking up. Yeah. At that point, we were like, okay, the clone, Ultraman is the Superman clone. Okay.
We said it might be Bizarro, and then obviously maybe towards the end of the film when he gets taken into the clone falls into the black hole, there's a chance for him to come back changed. So this may be a Bizarro origin.
I'm putting money on that, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, we theorized for a while, but yeah, as I say, I agree with him. As soon as they walked up to the fortress, and I think it was the engineer was like, "How are we going to get in?" Like, Lex just turns around and smiles. It's just like, and he just like goes up, and it's like, "Oh, okay, well, obviously, yeah, he's Superman."
Yeah.
So sidebar to Liam, because I know you were reading the Authority to find out who the engineer was prior to that. I thought that was going to be revealed to be Apollo, and they were going to go on with the Authority down that line.
That, you know what? I hadn't thought of that, but that would have been cool.
Because Lex goes on to call his group Planet Watch, which is Stormwatch from the Authority side of things. So yeah.
One thing I will say, when Ultraman's mask was then destroyed and it came off, and apart from you had the entirely predictable, oh look, it's Superman is underneath the mask. Also, I thought the way that he looked with like the clothing he was wearing kind of at that point, and with his hair and that, just looked like Anakin Skywalker from Episode 3. That's all I was thinking in that. Like, oh, he looked like Anakin. Okay.
I thought he looked more like Henry Cavill when he had like long curly hair. He looked more like that in some angles.
Anakin, you're wrong.
I did quite like the fact that like Lex just totally disrespected this clone. Obviously, I don't know how like intelligent clone is, but the fact even in the presentation in the beginning where he's showing Planet Watch to like Rick Flag and everyone, he's like lights, and it's just Ultraman standing there. He just turns the light on. It's like, really?
Well, I do want to know though why he keeps saying he's more powerful than Superman. If he's a clone,
Ultraman is.
Yeah, he kept saying that. He said it like
he's
3 or 4
genetically
times.
engineered. Like he was made in a lab. Like, so I guess they somehow did something to make him stronger. I don't know.
That, or he was referring to the whole brains.
He's a Superman clone. Superman gets his power from a yellow sun. Ultraman is entirely covered head to toe. There is no skin exposed. So he's not receiving any of that yellow sun radiation. So that would suggest that he would need to be getting his power some other way.
That, or he was referring to the brains versus brain always beats brawn, and then he was controlling all the fight moves to make him always win.
Yeah, I thought that was quite cool, like cool little nod to like Lex being like that superior brain.
I think that's coming into later on, that if Lex ever gets himself a power suit, he knows how to fight him, and you've already seen him do that by even describing it.
Yeah, and the fact that he had the power suit for Ultraman is there's got to be foreshadowing,
and all the Raptors as well.
Yeah, the purple and green colored armor on the Raptors, just to
even the big ship, the big ship was purple and green as well. I noticed the second time I watched it when it landed at like the little desert base thing. That was like hints of purple and green on that as well. I did quite like the fact that he like obviously had learned and pre-done all these moves. But one thing it sort of happened that made it happen is that Superman was like just get his ass beat for like the whole movie.
Yeah,
it was like he didn't even get one punch. I wouldn't mind it if he got one punch off, and then Lex was like learning as he was going during the fight to make the fight a bit longer, and then counter it. But like even Superman, like obviously the beginning he crashed down and gets recharged, flies all the way back, and then gets hit twice or 3 times, and he gets hit to the ground, and then he's knackered again. I was like, come on, mate, you didn't get one punch on him. Like
I was gonna talk about the power of Superman because obviously he was a lot weaker in this than every live action iteration we've ever seen of him, at least.
Yeah.
And I think I really enjoyed that because obviously it gives the writers more flexibility on what to do with him and that sort of thing. But I really hope they get to a moment, because the thing is he was playing defense the whole movie, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that is more Superman's characteristics, where he doesn't want to hurt, he doesn't want to fight. he will just do it because people attack him all the time. Where like other versions, I'm going to point out Henry Cavill's one was always straight in for a punch. Like he didn't want to talk. He just, and I didn't feel that felt more Superman to me. That I don't really want to fight, which they kind of showed that a little bit. But he was forced to always be on defense, right? But then they can also get along the lines of what they did with the Justice League Unlimited show. That you get to the end point where there's this big bad guy,
beats Darkseid to death,
and he's like, right, I hold back all the time, and then there's this one moment where he's like, I'm not going to hold back, and you actually see him full powered like he normally is. He's got a softer side of him in this version, which I really like.
Yeah, I do think. I mean, he did obviously take down the Raptors pretty easily. I guess every other bad guy he fought in this film, except for the Raptors, was either
they're pretty super powered anyway.
Yeah. A clone of him, like the big kaiju thing. So it's like, you know, things would beat him. I actually really appreciate the bit, like talking about Superman's character in this, in the bit of the kaiju when he was fighting that big monster, and then the Justice Gang show up. And they're just trying to kill it, and he was like, "No, we're trying to save it. I'm trying to save it." Like he was actually trying to save it and take it.
You can take it to an intergalactic zoo that I've got in the fortress.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that was quite. And then even when they show up, they start doing stuff, and they, like people are getting in trouble. He's like, "Come on, guys! Like, be more careful." Like that was very Superman of him.
I also really like when he was like when the kaiju blew the fire at him, and it goes into the office behind him. And the first thing he does is turn around and make sure everyone's all right. Then he continues on with the fight. That was so good because that's probably one thing out Man of Steel that he doesn't kind of do, right? Where Smallville there's a fight.
Man of Steel is that, and the big difference between these movies here is that in this movie he's been Superman for a while. He's learned what it is to be Superman. In Man of Steel, he was still learning. He
only just finds out who he is when he's on the rise. So,
never thrown a punch in his life. Like he's not really thinking about the public. No, I agree with that. That's probably like a big thing that people hate about Man of Steel. But it's like, well, he's not even called Superman. Yeah, you just got the costume. So, but no, I appreciate him always looking out for the
and I think him saving that squirrel is going to be Chip. He's going to become a Green Lantern. I'm on it.
Nice segue into Green Lanterns. What do we think of Guy Gardner?
Oh, Guy Gardner, yeah, okay. Yeah, that haircut should be against your vows.
I thought he played it
so well.
Played it so well. There's an interview. I think there's an interview he's done recently where he's talking about his character, and he's said something like, "Look, man, there's a few human Green Lanterns, and there's 3,600 Green Lanterns in the universe. And if you want one to come along, Guy Gardner's the last one you want to show up.
Unless you want some dirty work done."
And I think he played it to a T. Like the arrogance and stuff of him was great. Even after they kill the coach, he lands and he's walking. And he's like, "Yeah, that's all right, everybody." He's like, "Why's no one clapping? Like, what's going on?" Like,
so Superman can come to help, but you got an upgrade.
Exactly.
So good.
I thought it was an interesting choice to use him to play off of Superman, because obviously you don't want Hal and Superman who are two hyper competent, heroes. You've got a guy who's a bit more off. I don't want to say unhinged, but unhinged.
He's more rogue, right? He's all about the spotlight.
And he's in general, he's an arsehole.
Yeah.
You know.
So you know about the hypno glasses, right? You know who he is, and you shouldn't be telling me this. You know he's Clark Kent, right? It's just like, shut up, guy.
Oh man!
I talk about hypno glasses though. I swear, Clark has given Jimmy something for him to be a ladies' man like he is.
Massively, I think so. Yeah, there was like three. I noticed. We talked about it after we watched it the first time. I want to watch it again today. I was like, I swear, it's got to be something, because there's literally Jimmy. There's two like interns in the Daily Planet, like staring at him. There's also
all the prostitutes
down the street. All down the street, like all of them like are on him, and I was like, Eve's like, maybe you could get her anyway, but it's just like, even Lois goes, "How do you do this?" And it's like, there's definitely something going on with that. There's no way.
I reckon Superman's giving him the signal watch, and it's changed his face. But it's only the people that don't know him before he had it.
He's Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, and I think people know that he is Superman's pal. He knows Superman.
There's something else to it. 100%.
I reckon they dropped too many hints for it to be anything like that's not weird.
Yeah.
Because Superman and him don't even interact in the film. So I talk about one of the other nitpick, and I don't know if it's a negative or not, right? But he would, because I would in a past me would be like, oh, it would be great if he was Superman for the whole film. Maybe because of Superman and Lois, I've changed my mind on this, but he was only Clark for like 2 minutes of the movie in the Daily Planet right at the beginning. The rest of the time, he didn't put those glasses on. He was not Clark Kent.
It was action packed. That's why.
Yeah, there was no moment of him being Clark.
It wasn't totally action packed. There was a lot of talking in this movie.
Yeah, but he's always the thing with Superman. And I don't know if it's a negative or not. I just thought it was weird because I guess it's the way we are with movies these days. Because in like the Chris Reeve movies were a long time ago, but like most other films, like the big action-packed scenes are when he's Superman. The rest of the time he's Clark. And in this film, he was Superman pretty much the whole time. Or he was Clark, but without like he was himself. Like he wasn't the dorky Clark Kent. He was like,
yeah, because you have the scene where she's interviewing him in the apartment as Superman. Yeah. Before that, he was cooking dinner as Clark, but immediately he was Superman because he wasn't, she was seeing
and then
him
even in the Kent farm, he was Clark. He wasn't like dorky Clark with the glasses. Like the only time you saw that was that one moment in the Daily Planet.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's a negative or not. I just thought it was really weird how like obviously most other.
I think it's just kind of making it clear that the story, the main story of this film was about Superman and Lois and about them having a relationship. That was that main. It wasn't about Clark and Lois. It wasn't about Lex and Superman. The main story here that went through from beginning to end was about whether Lois and Superman can have a relationship. And that's what's resolved by the end when he finally says, I love you. And I think that's why he needed to be Superman for the majority of the movie, because that's what that story is. And that story is set to the backdrop of Lex Luthor being a Lex Luthor, crazy son of a bitch.
Yeah.
But that's why I think we got minimal Clark Kent on this one. Because I guess we're kind of emphasizing more of the point that that he's... Yeah, well, they make a big point of saying that he's an alien. And that's a big point of it. He's from somewhere else. Which I make this comment just in response to what's been come out a lot in the press in America, with certain media outlets playing a certain angle. They have not invented this thing. It's not new that Superman is an alien. He's always been an alien. He's always been an immigrant to Earth and to America. James Gunn didn't create that. Read a comic, watch any of
it. Is that what they're saying on news reports in America?
Stupid stuff saying that they've now made it so that he's an immigrant and he's American. You're like, he ain't. Like, he's a bloody alien. He's from Krypton. Don't be stupid.
Yeah, I mean that's another thing I appreciate about it. Like when that interview's happening, I know it was in the trailer as well. But when she's saying like you went in there and stopped this war happening as an American citizen, he's like, no. I did it for me. I did it to
representing myself.
That's something
I wasn't representing anyone. You guys are just spinning it because I speak American. I'm
something I've always liked about the Superman character, especially we saw it in Superman and Lois as well, when he saves the submarine, the North Korean submarine, and then puts it over there. It's like I'm American, but I'm not working for you. I'm saving the world. That's my remit. I do as much good as I can everywhere. Yeah.
The other thing is, I don't know if it's superhero. I don't know if it's a negative, but there's very interesting as well that in that movie, he didn't once save Lois. Right?
True. I mean, she's quite. I mean, maybe the first 3 years he was saving her. Now she's not. Like, she didn't really put herself in harm's way too much.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But we didn't see it. We didn't see it. And I thought that was quite an interesting idea to have.
I quite appreciate being proactive, actually saving him. Like she was like very like stand on her own 2 feet kind of thing.
That's why I like the fact that they kept her and the journalist side of things separate from the big fight. Like she wasn't there to help him win. She was doing all the press stuff against Luthor whilst he was doing the saving the world kind of stuff, which is going to give a little contrast. I like to that. Yeah, speaking of the wider world in general, we obviously got this film is dropping us into an established DC universe. So the title crawl at the start says that metahumans have been on Earth for 300 years, which is an interesting way to start the movie because God only knows what that's alluding to. But we also have the Justice Gang, and I said to Stu and Ross when we watched the film, when Lois is in the Hall of Justice, lovely seeing that on the live action screen. There's a mural of the Justice Society around on top of the.
You see Wildcat,
Alan Scott, that lot. So there's obviously been established superheroes in this universe already. So and you get the when Metropolis is falling apart due to whatever that black hole's doing to them. It's just an air raid siren. It's like, it's Tuesday. You're going to evacuate. It's coming again. Get out. It's Tuesday.
Yeah, it was I know it's a weird thing, but like the whole thing of like when that was going through the city, and then it gets to that point where there's these people like having dinner. I'm like, God, we need to get out of here. I was like, this has been going on for like 20 minutes. You didn't want to leave earlier. You're like, oh, it's actually going to reach us.
Well, that was the interesting about the movie, right? Is that most versions, even like the MCU, is what would the superheroes be like in our world? And that's the take. Where this was, no, this is a comic book world, and you're seeing a window into this world, which I thought was a completely amazing
this stuff
take.
happens on a regular basis, and they've obviously got something.
Yeah, this isn't real life. This is a comic book world that you're in and you're watching. I really appreciate it.
Metahumans have been around for ages, and everyone's used to what they are. And Superman's only been around for 3 years, but he's obviously the most powerful one, which is what's triggered Lex into doing what he's doing now. But
jealousy.
What do we think? What do we think about Lex as well? Because I thought he did a really good job of being this like diabolical, like kind of genius, but also a bit unhinged.
He was way more evil than I normally think of him in my head, especially when he shot the hot dog owner.
Yeah.
That's
Flaff owner. He's just like, I thought that was gonna last longer. So,
that was quite a shock moment for me. I was like,
that was fair. That
was like,
the movie that I would say was quite predictable. I did not expect that guy to die.
He's got his own interdimensional prison where he just keeps people he doesn't like. It's just like
Well, even looking at all the monkeys like just putting hate on social media. I was just like,
especially when he's like, it's for petty girlfriends. Oh, but you're not petty at all. You've got a dimension to put everybody in. And then you also charge governments to put on their enemies that they don't like as well.
Well,
you hypocrite.
It's like the classic bit was when he was getting really stressed. So he like knocked the cup on the floor, which was some big epic slow motion cup break with the pencils in. He's like, pick that up. And then he's talking, and then they pick it up and put it on. And he just knocks it off again, and he's like, It's just like, Jesus Christ.
Well, they seem to always have a spare cup on hand to quickly replace it with, so it's clearly something that he does all the time.
But he did want to save the cup when Superman comes in asking for where Crypto was. He slips it down, picks it up. He said, "No, you're not taking my cup."
Stupid dog in a cape. It's just like
that scene was pretty good, to be fair. Because the stupid dog in a cape.
Because ugly dog, doesn't he?
A stupid ugly dog in a cape or something. Interesting enough, that scene was shown about 2 weeks ago.
It was released.
So why would you release?
Was it? I didn't see that.
Yeah.
And
the thing is, as well, when he storms in and the door breaks in, and the secretary's like, "I tried to stop him." Yeah, of course you did, love.
I did like that. There's a couple of shots like that. You say moments about Superman being Superman in the film, and there's the shot after he saves the lady in the car from the building collapsing on her, and he rises up out.
That's the best shot in the movie.
Good shot. But I also like the one when he gets to the fortress after Lex has been in there, and he realizes Crypto's gone, and he just goes
all the elements, and he's not blinking as he's flying towards you, and you just see everything going, and he's just, that was great.
Yeah.
It's also the bit where he goes when all the Raptors arrive. And then they're like, kill him! And they're like, you can try. And then he flies up and they all surround him and he spins out them out. It's so
Ross, that was in the last trailer. That was the end of the last trailer.
Was it?
Really?
I didn't happen.
Why?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They ruined so much. Like when he spins up, punches a guy in the teeth at the camera, and he does that spinning thing. That's at the end of the last trailer.
Oh, wow.
Because you say it because we saw there was a trailer for Fantastic Four on before we watched this in the cinema, and it was one that I haven't seen before. But there was so much of the film in that trailer. Like I think I said to you at the end, Stuart, you could probably predict the entire plot now off the back of that. It's just like...
and I think that's why maybe. I mean, I know we didn't. I think I watched the teaser one we reacted to. I can't remember if we did the.
Yeah, we did the first teaser and the first trailer.
Yeah, first trailer. Right? So they're the only ones I watched. But like, if you watched everything else going up to it, no wonder why people are like, "Oh, it was really predictable." It's because you watched all. If you don't watch the trailers, then maybe it would have been like a really surprising. Maybe not for us, but like most people, surprising film. But it was just they released so much. Like, it's Fantastic Four thing is going to be the same. It's just like it predicts the story now.
That's the thing. Too much stuff is shown in the trailers. Like it's just it does spoil a lot of the film. It's a shame.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. What do we think about? We mentioned Mr. Terrific. Like getting. I think him out of all three of the Justice game probably had the most. Well, he did have the most screen time.
Most screen time. Yeah.
Which is quite cool.
He was great. I loved the scene when he was with Lois and they landed in that camp and put the force field around her, and then he's just walking around and easily taking care of everything.
Yeah.
That was
Especially as
fantastic.
the Lex lady was like, "Oh, he's only the smart one," as in
Yeah,
like he's
yeah.
not a threat,
Yeah.
and then he's like, "Oh, really, love?"
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, and the bit at the end as well, with the when he goes into the office to turn off the machine, and the guy goes, "I can help you do it." He goes, "I don't need your help. I'm Mr. Terrific."
Yeah,
Mr. Terrific, and sits down. It's like...
And the nanites thing as well, because I was tracking him with nanites. I put him his body.
Put it with everybody.
Everyone I know. They're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, the only one that really didn't have a lot of screen time and didn't really feel they needed was Hawkgirl already.
She was very.
Yeah, she was fine. Yeah, she didn't need more.
She's established, and she can be in the rest. You know, she's going to be in the future ones, isn't she?
There was a throwaway comment that Lex made about other metahumans being human and Superman being the only alien, which makes you wonder if she is Thanagarian or if anyone knows she's Thanagarian, or if they're going with the other version of her where she's like an Egyptian reincarnation. But
yeah. And I quite like Metamorpho as well.
Actually, Rex was a good inclusion.
That was a really good story for him as well. Yeah. I've only read a few comics of him now. I never read when we had a kid. But like the whole thing of him like being there because obviously the baby was in the prison opposite. And I actually really like the effect that kryptonite had on Superman. Like he got really ill. Really, like it was like usually it's just like, oh, he's really weak, and he's like, damn, actually it made him really
especially
ill.
When he was asking Rex for help, and he's like, "Don't talk to me," and then he got up closer. It got larger and closer to his face, and it looked like it burnt him and everything.
Yeah,
like concentrated dose of it or something.
Yeah, that's cool. I like the way he came back and he did that, obviously that bit in the war, and that massive hammer, and then like washed that tank.
Yeah, that was really good. Do you reckon the with Metamorpho, his kid is like carry on from there. The kid is there just for a plot point so that he would be compliant in the glass and do what Lex said, or it could be both actually, where they got a plan for him and his family later on.
I think that it was just there like to. I think the way it would work out is potentially that Lex knows Stag Industries experiments on to create Metamorpho. I think that maybe that was something where they collaborated on that. That Lex needed someone that could create a mineral that's no longer none of it is left on Earth. So that was why it was created, and then the baby was just that he needed him there to control him. Otherwise, there's no reason for Metamorpho to do what Lex says.
Yeah, true, very true.
I think interesting as well. You mentioned there as well a point I've forgotten. That was he had to have Metamorpho for the kryptonite because none of it is left on Earth, which is an interesting plot point.
I mean the robots could have got rid of it, right? I mean it's been 3 years. Could have found it quite early, and they could have hunted it down.
Batman could have got some of it, and he's got it locked up in a vault somewhere. I don't
know. I'm sure Batman has some.
Yeah. But he's gathered it all up, and he's like, "Oh, I'll look after this."
It's an interesting, it's something that you'd probably see in a comic book continuation of that, and whether they do it in another film is that Metamorpho can create kryptonite. What about red kryptonite and gold kryptonite and anything else that?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Surely he can.
Yeah,
I think he has to have seen it before, right? Because when he was making it, he kept saying, like, especially when he made the sun, he was like, right, hydrogen. He was thinking of all the elements to make it.
Yeah.
So I think he'd probably have to analyze it first, or if someone just tells him what it's made out of, I don't know. He can do it.
Yeah, maybe.
Isn't the idea that kryptonite's just its own element?
I think I can't remember.
Opposed to anything else.
To Superman 3, they broke it down, didn't they? Of like it was like iron and other stuff, and there was like unknown.
I remember that.
It was like, but I mean, I don't know. I'm not that. I don't think it's ever been written anywhere. It must be in an anthology or something of Superman where it says where it's actually made from. But
it's there as an option if they want to use that as a plot point down the line. Now, you could quite easily So
no, exactly. Cool. What about some other sort of like some of the, I guess like callbacks or Easter eggs that are in the film? I quite appreciated that the clone of Superman was made from his hair that he found, which kind of like a nod back to Superman 4. You know, the chest logo on it. Although I was hoping to have more of that hammer go. It was literally in it for like 2 seconds, which is a bit annoying. I kind of hope it's going to come back. That costume was going to come back a bit. I thought that was like a really cool nod to like potentially a previous like movie they tried to sneak in there. But one thing I just wanted to finish on some like really positives. One thing I thought was really amazing was the fortress. Like that was wicked. Like the
And
fact
the
it
robots.
came
Robots were
in
really
and out
cool as
of
well.
ground was really clever, so no one could ever find it. And yeah, the robots are really cool as well. I really enjoyed the
Basically, the whole thing of the Bravia thing was to make him so injured, he went back so that they could track him and find it, because they believed it was there, but they couldn't find it, that was really cool.
Yeah, because it was underground the whole time. It's just like...
really cool. Yeah, really cool. Sort of plan by Lex. But the robot. I don't quite like. Obviously, Alan Tudyk as Gary, the main one, was really cool.
Yeah,
but even all the other ones were I thought were a lot of fun. It's the way with the like. I thought you told him to look after the dog. He goes, yes, but we're a Tubbertons, and we know that we don't care if he lives or dies.
We feed him, and we have no obligations. If he lives or dies.
It's just so good. Even a bit with well, something else speaking about is when Supergirl shows up at the end, right? The first shot we got of live action Supergirl in costume, bar, so she had the jacket on, so you couldn't see the full thing. But like that was a really cool costume. I'm looking forward to seeing her. Interesting take on her.
I thought that was a cool way of introducing her, not in a graceful and good way, just drunk, stumbling into the room drunk, and after a dog, and then calls Superman
a bitch.
You know. You're like, oh, that's brilliant. I thought that was really fun.
It's interesting as to whether or not that's she's been on Earth established as a Supergirl, or that's just her wearing a Kryptonian costume. Yeah, we don't know. No, she was never mentioned in the film. Lois never makes reference to her, so
True, but
Lois didn't know he even had a dog. I don't think she knew.
Yeah.
Well, it depends how long he was looking after the dog for Supergirl. It could only been like a weekend or a week.
She's throwing herself a rager. Just being a fucking rager.
I mean, like she couldn't have been off partying with Lobo, and he just gave her a lift back. Like, because how did she get from a
get back from a red sun planet?
Get drunk. How did she get back? Unless she's got her ship still. How did she get back? She can fly. Yeah. No, it'd be interesting. I mean, it'd be interesting if she's like that at all in her movie, or she's obviously a lot more.
No, the story of her movie will be her coming in to realise that she needs to be a bit more responsible.
Yeah,
she's going to be stuck somewhere on her own. She can't rely on her cousin, and she has to step up.
Yeah, because it's a different thing. All the other iterations of Supergirl we see is like she's meant to be there to protect like her baby Kal-El was like the mission, right? Now he's a fully grown man. She doesn't even know what to do with herself. So, but yeah, I did appreciate his bit at the end talking to Gary about like she's no responsibilities, or it's like I can see why the dog's so disobedient. It's like it's great. It was a great moment. And then sort of the bit I think we mentioned at the beginning of like obviously the ending, like when he comes at the beginning, it's Jor-El and Lara's message that soothes him, and then at the end it's his parents, or the sort of video of human parents is really cool.
I really like the Metropolis as well, like the backdrop of it and everything looked good. Lady Planet.
Yep.
All the sets were amazing.
Yeah, so we need to visit Cleveland, man. It was mostly filmed in Cleveland.
Yeah.
It was a really well done movie, I'd say, despite the criticisms we have on it. It was a solid movie. It was a really good movie. It was everything it needed to be. There's loads to like about it. There's more to like than we have wobbled about. I think.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the stuff that we're disagreeing with or criticizing isn't detracting from what we love more. It's
that's the thing.
There's no massive.
Love the movie.
Yeah.
And we might even get conclusions later on down the line that fix the issues that we have.
Yeah, no, very true. Very true. Yeah, I mean, I was a bit disappointed with the two post-credit scenes. I'd say they're a bit random. I didn't mind. I did love the one with Crypto hugging him on the moon. That was cool. Yeah. I was really hoping he was going to explain what we spoke about earlier about Jimmy's like having like a hypno watch or something. I thought he was going to explain.
He's just that attractive to the ladies, Stu.
I mean,
he's pure game.
Stuart dominated from a place.
Yeah, but it's not. The thing is, right? He's not. He was not used to it. It was like it's just happened. It's like why is this happening now? You know, he's like 20-something years old. He'd be used to it by now. Being a jock at school and being a fucking player, but now he's like, what the hell's going on? Like something's just happened to him recently. That's what I got the thing from.
I mean, as you say, the film is great. I hope everyone goes and sees it. I think it looks like lots of people are going to see it already, which is going to be a big success, which I'm happy about. So it means it opens up this James Gunn universe to lots of cool stuff that's coming out. And there's already loads of stuff green out. And I really look forward to the Lantern show.
Yeah, Lanterns and Supergirl. I was looking forward more to them than this anyway. But now I'm just like, oh yes, see more, especially with Guy and Howard John is going to be so much fun.
Yeah. I'm hoping that this leads to more people picking up the comics. Because I'd say, like, if you enjoyed the this movie, one of the thoughts that I had when watching this movie was that it was a good movie. It was a well-written movie, and it was really enjoyable. But I've read better stories in the books, So I hope that the people who enjoyed the movies do pick up the comics, because if you like this, you'll love the comics.
I mean, if you the current run of Superman, like being drawn by Dan Mora, and even the Batman Superman, like world's finest comic that's been going on for a while, they are
they're good. They're good places to jump on.
Good. Yeah, it's a really good place to jump onto.
Yeah,
start somewhere. The artwork is amazing from Dan.
Or you can go and seek out some of the stuff that obviously was inspiring this, like you got Red Sun. What's
All-Star Superman?
All-Star Superman. Yeah.
Lex Luthor, Man of Steel.
Another good choice.
Yeah, that's cool stuff. So yeah, all in all, I am very happy with the movie, and I look forward to seeing David Gordon Sweat being Superman for a very long time. So I can't wait.
At least get a trilogy out of him, I think.
At least a full Justice League. Like, add him to Justice Gang and bring in Batman, Wonder Woman.
Well, I'd love to see, before we get like a Superman 2, I want to see more other characters have their main film, and just like how Green Lantern and Hawkgirl and they all appeared in this one, Superman can appear in these, another movie that's focused on a different character. I'd love to see more characters being the main character of the story. I don't want us to fall down that hole of being just focused on, Superman. There's a lot of great characters in there, and I love that the way they've approached this is very much like the way the comics are, which is that they all exist in the same world, so they're gonna cross paths. So I hope they keep that going.
Yeah, massively cool.
I hope they don't rush to a Justice League movie. I don't think we need to rush to a Justice League.
No, I don't think so. I think you got time to bring up all these separate things, and then I mean, it doesn't have to even lead on from each other. I'm hoping that what he does, I think what he said he's going to do is that they're all going to be standalone movies, and then there is just a Justice League movie which has all the characters in, but you don't have to watch all of them to understand the story.
I really hope that is the case.
That
will be the best way to go. You don't want it to have to be that people need to do homework in order to watch a movie.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Cool. Anyone else got any thoughts?
No. Just looking forward to seeing Lanterns is next up, I think.
Peacemaker
season 2.
Peacemaker season 2.
Who also makes a cameo in this. It's just
he does,
that was fun.
Yeah, looking forward to that, and then say Supergirl got Lanterns. I mean, there's just been a Clayface greenlit, which sounds quite exciting. So,
one other question I just remembered was you've got the news guy that kept talking to Lex and was always talking about how Superman was, and he was from the Sphere News. Do you know the guy I'm talking? I can't remember. We didn't.
Yeah, Michael Ian Black is the actor.
Yeah, but they didn't give us a character name, right? If that's
Gordon Godfrey.
If that's Gordon Godfrey, and the Sphere News is a nod to Apocalypse.
Oh, come on.
I think it may well be Godfrey.
It's a solid choice.
That's how that's going to play out. That was something that I thought. Yeah.
It was interesting because I think I saw an interview or someone posting something online that actor. Apparently, when this whole thing got announced, he messaged James Gunn, being like, I'd love to be in the movie, and he gave him a role. I was like, well, we should have messaged James Gunn. Be like, great, great for the next James background.
Look, I mean, we all know James Gunn's watching this video.
Oh yeah.
So James, I mean, bring us in. We'll play any characters in any of the upcoming movies. Just give us a call.
Real characters, cool. All right. Let's wrap it up. So everyone's thoughts are solid movie. A couple of little nitpicks that we as older comic book.
You get that with every movie though. Never, movie's ever perfect.
Exactly.
Does not mean that any of us think this is a bad movie.
No, not in any way. Not in any way. It's a solid movie. And if you've been watching, all the way through this and listen to all our jibber jabber, please comment below. Let us know your thoughts. Give us a full review on what you liked, disliked on the movie, what you're looking forward to in the future. Let us know that. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Go check out all of our Superman related stuff. So you've got Superman Lois on there. Go all the way back to one of our first reactions, which is Krypton, which is a great show that no one ever talks about. That's on there as well. Go check that out.
Fantastic show. Love that show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Very good show. And then we've also got CW stuff where he shows up in as well. So yeah, go check it out. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you very soon for another reaction.